What is the difference between Japan and the USA? Honestly, there's a lot of differences. So much I can make its own video on this subject, but I would say the main thing is cleanliness. Japan is a lot more clean than America. Also, they're a lot more kinder. Like I remember when I came back to America, I had culture shock because I realized how rude Americans really are compared to Japan. So I would say Japan is a cleaner and nicer country, generally speaking. What part of Japan do you like the most? What Japanese food do you like the most? I think my favorite parts of Japan are definitely Ibaraki and Okayama. I definitely like the suburb and country feel of Japan. Like I felt like I was actually experiencing Japan when I was out of the major city. And I liked it better than all the major cities that I visited. So Okayama and Ibaraki. And my favorite Japanese food, oh man, that's a hard one. One of my favorite foods for sure is gyoza. Gyoza is delicious. Oishi, oishi. Are you planning to come back to Japan again? Yes, I want to come back to Japan. I haven't been in Japan for about 6 years now because the last time I was in Japan was 2015. But as soon as travel restrictions are lifted, I'm definitely coming back to Japan. So look forward to that. Why did you choose Japan to YouTube on? Japan is one of my favorite countries on the planet. It's a culture I love a lot. It's something I hold dear, and for me, I wanted to find some way I can connect with the Japanese people or be part of Japan. So I figured YouTube would be a huge opportunity for me to reach the Japanese people, but also lead to more opportunities where I can be a part of Japanese culture and just connect with people for the most part. So this is a similar question. Why did you choose Japan out of so many other countries? It's just one of those things where you just fall in love with a country. There's some people who love French culture, other people who love Brazilian culture or Italian culture. And for me, I don't know, I just fell in love with Japanese culture. When I was researching Japan to go to visit, just learning about the history, the people, how they act, just intrigued me. And since then, I've been hooked. So I don't know, Japan is just one of those countries I just love a lot. Are you proud of Brooklyn? What car do you have? Yes, I am very proud from the city I was born in. And currently I drive a Chevrolet Trailblazer 2002. It's an SUV. I do like SUVs a lot. Are people of color difficult to live in the United States? Are you still feeling it? I guess he's asking, is it difficult to be a person of color in the United States? No, I would say no. Generally speaking, I think anyone of any race, any color can succeed here. I think anyone is going to have disadvantages in life, whether you're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're born in wealth, you're born in poverty. Yes, there's discrimination, but it's not enough to stop you from being successful. So I think living in America is still one of the best places you can live in the whole entire world. Do you think there is a hierarchy based on race, such as Asians over blacks, blacks over white? I think if you're talking about America prior to the 1960s, I would say that maybe white people had a better, less hard time in America because there was discrimination against people who were non-white. However, in today's day and age, I think it's more based on cultural values and the individual choices that people make. I think that anyone can be successful in America, and even statistically speaking, Asians are the top earning people in America, even though people claim that white people have a privilege. But it's more about the culture, the values you install in your children, and what actions the people take. So no, not necessarily. I don't believe in that. There were discrimination problems in Japan, but I don't think there is a discrimination against foreigners. I think it comes from the natural character of being curious. That's my personal opinion. What do you think? I would agree with that. I would say Japanese are not racist. It's more of like we don't really interact with foreigners as much, so we don't know what to say or what to do. Though a lot of foreigners may take that negatively, I don't think Japanese generally have any ill towards foreigners. It's just that you're not Japanese. And since a lot of Japanese don't really interact with foreigners as much, they don't really have an incentive to. So I don't think it's racism or discrimination. What do you think is the difference between Japanese and American music? Is K-pop really popular in the US? There's a lot of differences with that, but I would say generally Japanese music has a lot of more similar themes, while America, you can probably find a lot more music that has more diverse themes and philosophies. But in my personal experience, I find a lot of Japanese tend to speak about similar issues in their music. K-pop has seen an increase in popularity. However, I don't think it's as respected. I think it still caters to a very niche audience, but I think overall K-pop is more popular, but it's not as respected in the mainstream. What do you do on your holiday? Where do you live in the future? What kind of problems did you have in Japan? What do you think of onomatopoeia in Japan? On holidays, I usually work. Sadly, in this part of my life, I'm just trying to build my life up, so I don't really have time to really take vacations like that or enjoy holidays, but usually I'm working or sleeping. I would love to live in Hawaii in the future. I would love to own a house in Hawaii, but I also do want to live in Japan. I want to own a property there eventually, but Hawaii and Japan are definitely two places I want to live in. I didn't have much problems. The only problem I had, I guess, was more internally, was that I was so paranoid of not coming off as mean or stupid or representing my, America or black people. So I was very paranoid about making mistakes because I didn't want Japanese to look at me or dislike me. But that was more of an internal struggle. But that was the only thing. I was paranoid about what people thought about me. And I think the onomatopoeia is very interesting. I love it. I love how Japanese have words for sound effects or different feelings, so I think it's pretty cool. What is the stereotype of Japanese? I guess the stereotype of Japanese people, that Japanese people are very sexual, because you can find a lot of sex-centered media in Japan. So I think a lot of people think Japan is the people are very sexually active. I think that's one thing. What manga/anime do you like the best? Oh man, I can talk about this for years, but some of my favorites are definitely Cowboy Bebop, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, Black Lagoon, Fooly Cooly, Samurai Champloo, Outlaw Star, Air Gear, Trigun, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, One Punch Man, Berserk, and iShield 21, just to name a few, but there's a lot more that I like. Where have you been in Japan? Are there any traditional arts you like? I've been to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Ibaraki, Okayama. Those are all the destinations I've been to. As far as traditional arts, I did want to learn kendo at one point, to learn how to use a sword, but that was a long time ago. But that's something that does intrigue me and I would love to learn one day. Is body language enough to pass by when communicating with foreigners? If people understand you, do you feel happy? I think body language can be used to communicate well, but if someone's not really good at reading the air or reading people's body language, I think it will be harder for them to communicate. And of course, I do feel happy when people understand me. If I'm speaking to a Japanese person and let's say my Japanese is not well, I do like it when they do get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it does make me feel happy. What's your favorite spot in Japan? Is there anywhere you want to go in Japan? I would say my favorite spot currently is definitely Okayama. I love the people there, very friendly, and I love that country aspect of Japan. And I want to visit Okinawa one day. Okinawa seems very interesting to me, and eventually I want to plan a trip to Okinawa. So that was all your questions. Possibly if you guys have more questions that you want me to answer, we'll possibly make a second Q&A video, but this video just to congratulate us and just say thank you to you guys for subbing to the channel. Thank you for the views and thank you for the subs. And yeah, I enjoyed this Q&A, and feel free to ask me any questions. I'm not sensitive and I'm not easily offended, so feel free to ask me anything in the future. So if you guys like the video, please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. Also hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video. Arigatou gozaimasu, minasan. じゃあね。